Okay, as you can probably tell, the Vitamix juice is over here on the left, the Omega juice is on the right. And as you can tell in color, the Omega juice is darker than the Vitamix. Now again, that's strictly because the Vitamix had to be diluted down, or I shouldn't say diluted down, you had to add water to it. So it's going to dilute the color. And as far as the taste, it's the same thing. The Omega juice is very strong tasting, very sweet tasting. And you can also tell the more film left on the glass than with the Vitamix. The Vitamix has a little bit of a watered down flavor to it. It is a good juice, but it's a little watered down compared to the Omega. The Omega is a pure juice. It's a richer juice, richer tasting juice. And I did comparisons with the fruit also, and it's the same thing. But as far as smoothies goes, again, the Vitamix is the blender you want for smoothies. But in comparison with the juice, these are the difference here. The Omega definitely gets the nod for that. If you are looking for smoothies though, the Vitamix is a great blender. It can also do the juicing for you. So if you're looking for the smoothies, I would recommend the Vitamix, and then you can strain it down to get your juice also. The Vitamix does not, I feel, do such a great job with the wheatgrass. When tasting a smoothie made with wheatgrass, there is a little bit of the wheatgrass texture itself in there. So I don't know how well it does actually break down the wheatgrass for the juice. The Vitamix breaks it down completely. In fact, as I'm looking in the Vitamix blender, I see a blade of wheatgrass in there. So I'm not sure exactly how well it actually breaks that wheatgrass down. A lot of people have also questioned that. If you're not interested in the wheatgrass though, and just some green smoothies and fruit smoothies, the Vitamix then will do the smoothies, and again it will do the juice also. I'll show you also how quick they are to clean the units. Okay, with the Omega juicer, you saw earlier how I took it apart and put it back together. So as far as cleaning goes, you can just go ahead and rinse them. Rinse the pieces out if you like. That's the one piece. When you take off the front piece, rinse that out. That's completely clean. The auger and the screen come right out. And they give you the brush with the unit that you need to scrub it a little bit. And what I do is I use the juicer a couple times a day, so I usually don't even use soap and water until nighttime when I'm finished with it. But now I just rinse it out, and I would say pay particular attention to the screen. That's the double stage screen. This is the first stage, that's the second stage. And that screen, you definitely want to keep that as clean as possible so those holes don't get plugged up. But it's just a simple thing of just running it under the water. And the final part is the main unit. Just rinse that out. And as you can see, perfectly clean. And as I said, if you want to use soap and water, obviously you can, but sometimes it's not necessary to use it. Okay, as far as cleaning the Vitamix, I'm sure many of you have seen this already, but it's a simple matter. Just take the pitcher, fill it halfway or so with warm water. Put in just a couple drops of dish soap, put the lid back on, and turn it on. Let it run for about 30 seconds. Rinse it out, perfectly clean. That's all you have to do. Okay, so in summary, as you saw in the demonstration, the Vitamix makes a very good quality juice. It's just a little bit lighter than the Omega, and that's because we had to add water to the Vitamix. It's not that the Vitamix puts out a weak juice. It's a very good tasting juice. It's just that the Omega puts out a stronger tasting juice because you don't have to add water like you did with the Vitamix. So the Vitamix makes a very, very good juice, just a little on the weaker side compared to the Omega juicer. Other people have wondered about a couple things with the Vitamix. As you see, the 32-ounce container on the left-hand side, and it has the black numbers on it, where the main pitcher has clear numbers. And I think the reason they did that is because on the 32-ounce pitcher, that's mainly for dry ingredients and making flour. Flour is generally light in color, so when you have the light color up against the dark numbers, it's easy to read. Consequently, in the large pitcher, you're making smoothies and soups and things of that nature, and they are darker in color, so the clear numbers stand out better. The other thing was, again, to keep in mind that the Vitamix is a little bit on the loud side. I live in a townhouse community, and I will not run that Vitamix in the very early morning or late evening. It's just a little too loud for that. With the Omega juicer, very quiet. You will not wake up anybody with that. You could run it in the middle of the night with no problem whatsoever. Well, as they say, you should juice your vegetables and blend your fruit. And I would say, in my opinion, the Omega juicer is excellent for doing your dark leafy greens and getting a true green pure juice. The Vitamix will do it also, as I've mentioned many times, but you do have to add water to it and then strain it. But the Vitamix puts out silky, silky smooth smoothies, and they do fruits very, very, very well. Fruit smoothie in a Vitamix is excellent. So, in conclusion, I hope I was able to give you some information in your research and trying to decide between the two models, and good luck.